What is up, all my dorks, nerds, geeks, and gamers? It's your host, Ghost here, and today we're going to be checking out Sam and Max Beyond Time and Space. We're going to be checking out the first 25 minutes of the gameplay. So we're going to hop right in, see what we can see, and we're going to talk about it. So let's hop right in. Here we go.
Hello, welcome to this playthrough
Well, hello,
of
hello.
the
Nice
first
to meet you.
15 minutes or so of Sam and Max Beyond Time and Space Remastered. I'm Jake Rodkin from Skunk Ape Games. I'm one of the many people who worked on this remaster, and I'm joined by a few others who are going to introduce themselves.
So I believe I
now.
actually did not have the time to play
Hi,
Beyond
it's
Time and
Game
Space. I
Game
believe
Haunted
the
from
last one
Skunk
I
Ape
played,
Games.
or the only one I really played,
Hey,
was the Devil's Playground, I believe it was called, or Playhouse, or something like that.
So a bunch
But
of
it was on
us,
PS4.
worked at Telltale Games back in the day. Weird that you can say back in the day.
And then I also believe there was another one that came out after that.
Many or most of us
And I
from the
played that
actual
one as
start of
well,
the studio.
but I cannot remember the name of all of
We
them.
all worked on Telltale's Sam and Max adventure games, all 3 seasons. Which
Okay,
ran
to the
from
6 to 11.
2006 to around
So that would be like the
2011.
WiiWare
And,
era.
Over the last couple of years, we've actually been going back and remastering our old games. We put out Sam and Max season 1.
Okay, Save the World. Yeah, that was the one before Time and Max.
And we've just finished the second season, which is Sam and Max Beyond Time and Space. It's coming out
December 8th.
December 8th on
Okay, no
Xbox,
PlayStation release. That's a little
and
sad.
Switch. So we're gonna just jump in and play a little bit of the first.
Because I would definitely love to replay this Sam and Max game.
I'm sorry to my previous progress, but you will be.
But yeah, very, very fun games, very funny games. Telltale, of course. They're gone now, so I mean, we gotta appreciate what we have from them already.
So, like the season 1 remaster, we did end up.
Yeah, it looks good.
Relighting
Lighting
the
looks
entire
really
game
good.
from scratch. The original releases used a sort of a pre-baked lighting solution that is not only doesn't look great anymore, but is in fact totally.
Yeah, there was no way they were going to be able to use the old graphic system from Beyond Time and Space.
We took that opportunity across all of these.
The fish in the water tank.
I don't even know how to talk about that.
Yeah, it's a big difference between the old lighting system and the new one that we lit this game with.
Yeah, it's these remasters. We've actually had people ask, did you change engines or anything like that? But no, it's actually we're still using the Telltale tool, the same tool set that was used to make the original Sam and Max games, but we're able to benefit from over a decade of evolution and tech investment. So basically the underlying data.
They're just polishing it to a better state.
The same engine, but all of the rendering, animation, sound, even just like game performance, all those things
True.
are so much better than they were right out of the box. And then we took all those tools and got to apply them
and it looks great. They did a great job. That hole in the wall with the boards back there.
And exhilarating.
Yeah, we also did updates to the engine ourselves. So
yeah, we
the
started with we started with the Walking Dead 4 engine, and it's now no longer the Telltale tool; it's the Skunk Ape.
Yeah,
tool.
our version has branched further. Yeah, we've done stuff for like.
So yeah, same engine. They've just taken it and polished it in a way that they needed to tell the story they want to tell and make the graphics look the way they want to.
Look at that! It's flint paper. You want to talk about
how
flint?
big that hole is?
Look, it's a that hole in the wall so big.
They still have that thing though in there where Sam will throw Max whenever he's in his way. I love that. It used to crack me up.
He's like a fan favorite character from the original Sam and Max comics, and he has a tiny cameo in Sam and Max Hit the Road. But in this episode, in the original release, there was just a tiny hole in the wall where you could basically only see his face. And we decided, why not put a huge hole in the wall and show his whole office?
Crazy.
Yeah, and then actually Eric Parsons, who did a lot of sort of choreography and cinematography on the game, said, "Well, if we put a hole in the
that's
wall,
cool. I like the
maybe we
idea.
shoot the office through it." So then we ended up.
And I like it when remakes do stuff like that because it adds another layer of
that plus the
it's not the same when you're playing the same thing again and you're like, man, this is just a cash grab. When they do it like the way they did it, and there's that hole in the wall now, and then they shot it through the hole in the wall. You're playing the same game you played already, but you're getting a new perspective, at the very least, something small like that. Makes these replays very much more appealing to someone like me who has played these games already. Not this one in particular, but you know what I mean by remakes and remasters and games I've already played.
Do all the things we needed to do to make it
work.
Yeah,
now you can actually see him beating up some goons.
He doesn't want to help beat up a robot. He's beating up his own guys.
He's just beating up dudes in the other office beside him.
John, I know you also worked with Steve Purcell, the creator of Sam and Max, on like tweaking Flint's look to be a little more like he looks in the comics.
Yeah, Steve did some paint overs for me, and I tried to push his character a little bit more towards um, Steve's style of drawing him, but still trying to retain
All right,
some
out of the
the
office. Where are we
Telltale
going here
feel,
now?
particularly with his like bulging out eyes.
This is weird.
Going to confront the giant death robot that
Good-looking dude.
appeared in our office window. Oh, that
Oh no,
racket.
Sybil's.
It's Civil Store. It's fine though. Yeah, I think also if you know the whole story arc of season 2, you know that, just to keep talking about Flint paper, I guess we'll talk about Flint only. His involvement in the story goes up and up and up, and he actually ends up being a major player in the season. But I think his presence in 201 was like, maybe had we known at the time how much he would be in the season, he would have gotten a little more of his due in the original release.
Okay,
So
cool. I like that.
did it in the remaster.
Give him a little bit more time to shine before he really is needed in the story.
He is got this existential struggle because his love.
I really,
shading
that
is
man, that cell
becoming,
shading art style though has never.
I don't know which game.
It doesn't feel like it aged a day. It looks so good
Yeah, I
still
don't know, I
to
think-
this
I
day.
think this guy is written by Chuck Jordan.
I think so too. Yeah.
And I don't know the entire inspiration for the Mametron other than Chuck really likes writing
Machines of
with
strange
very
personalities.
because episode 4 also has a ship's computer that's kind of like the ship's computer from Star Trek, but you just slowly turn it into a jerk or into like a seductive.
That is
sweet
true though.
talking,
Sam and Max and Roblox, they don't mix
see.
really well.
Yeah, in this puzzle, you've
There's
gotta
always
try
some
and,
sort of comedy underlying.
befuddle this
their
robot so it'll stop
programming.
smashing your building apart, and I guess the way to his heart or to his brain is through pop culture, because for whatever. Is it ever explained why he's like this, or is this just how this guy works?
It's more like the puzzle solver needs to figure out that that's his thing.
Yeah, I don't even remember why this is what this guy loves, other than
Why
it's
he
don't-
programmed that way?
yeah, other than it seems like the robot that would come and destroy Sam and Max's office is the one that has this weird inexplicable quirk that makes no sense. Like, of course they get the robot that loves.
That is
children.
Sam and Max, though. That makes sense.
But that the references to music are like all over the place. There's stuff going way back.
Yep.
And stuff that was new at the time too. I love
No
it.
new
Now
references.
there are no new references.
Hey, that's like I said though. That's this. That's Sam and Max style of comedy.
I was playing some of this yesterday. My wife was watching, and in the opening, I think it's in the opening. He says something about a Fox newscaster. I'm like, well, yeah, some of these jokes, most of them still stand up.
Yeah, I
Kind
feel
of
like
amazing.
there's a reference to Barack Obama in this
Yeah.
episode, I think, but it's from before he was president. So
Yeah,
these
it's
are
crazy.
definitely remasters of games from the mid 2000s.
And are just dating ourselves.
Oh boy.
He's
So
turned
yes,
around. Look at that
I'll
thing.
start talking here because it's been a while since I said anything. But
He's
I've just been getting into the gameplay here. If you guys have never played a Sam and Max game, they're
Sam
very
and
fun
Max,
point-and-click adventure games.
perfect
You
game.
kind of point and click on different things. Sometimes you get a funny
Guys, I've
comedic
distracted the
reference.
robot.
Sometimes it's a pop culture reference. Sometimes it's just
Before you get
them
into
playing off their
solving what might
environment.
be the solution to the puzzle,
They're two
I
very
think it's
distinct
interesting that
personalities.
the office
Sam
is
is
so
the dog,
populated with
and
scenes from
he
season
is
one, that our way of
calm,
recouping the
collected.
season
He's the
one,
smart
or
one.
retelling the season
Thinks
one
things
stories
through.
out in the world and in the
His
way.
weakness is he's kind of
Yeah,
too
and
nice
in this
sometimes.
office.
In
And then you
season
have
one, the
Max,
stuff
who
that
is the bunny, who is a little bit
changes
crazy,
only what the piloting
psychopath,
are, so these are sort of all
plays off of
the
Sam really
evidence from
well,
season one
and that's why the whole game
season two.
series works as a whole,
Like,
because
then
they're
there's
two
the
very
whack
distinct
dress and the
personalities. You put them
season two,
together, they're
and
both
there's
detectives, and they're
there's a bunch of
solving
stuff
these
from
crazy
from
mysteries.
Dead Rise, seems like there's some
Um,
stuff from the White House,
What more could you
but
ask
then-
for?
and the
You know what I
Rush.
mean?
But then over
Created
the
by
course of
Telltale
season two,
Games back in the
Cinemax
day.
office itself ends up
Now it's
becoming
owned
this
by
sort of
whoever these guys are,
repository
the
of
new
all the-
creators
all
of the
their
Sam and
stuff,
Max
and
brand.
by the end of the season, their office is just like it looks like a storage. Like
They showed
storage
VR
door,
goggles in
basically.
that
Like, it's
in that
just like
closet, which
a
is a
horrible junk
tease for
closet.
the new
Cinemax
Sam and Max
orders.
game that just
Yeah,
came out
yeah.
this year, which is a VR Sam and Max title.
Oh, Leonard.
He'll be okay, probably.
Eh, pretty sure he dies.
It was
John,
the 2000s.
no.
It was the early 2000s.
Leonard is fine. He's okay. He's he's at the farm now.
Yeah. Rip.
Yeah, that poor guy.
Probably.
It's a good,
Loot the
you know,
body for spare change.
introduction puzzle to point and click adventure games, though, where you have to solve a slightly overly elaborate dialogue puzzle just to get a person to turn around. I think that feels right.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
like that I like that the wind up thing is right at the second floor window too, so it's kind of hard to miss it. You got to run back up to the office.
Yeah, I guess the Mametron's
Well
technically
designed.
taller than he was in season one. Now he wasn't standing
He's
up
just
before.
closer to the
It
window.
was just his head walking by before.
He's crouching.
Ketchup covered cheese logs.
Yeah, and John, I know that you also worked on the Mametron in that this is actually him with his like season 3 visual upgrades.
Oh yeah.
Because
Yeah, I tried to make some updates to characters in season 2 based on
Oh,
what
so to
some of the videos
retroactively
in
kind
season
of
3, so we
fix
get more parity
some of
between
the
the two.
changes.
yeah,
I like that.
Season 3
Um,
also kind of did its own remastering pass on a lot of the old assets, so it was we just brought
So
some of
the
those
start of
right
the
back.
game here, you
Yeah.
get your
Yeah,
nice
like
intro
Satan is a
credits
good
for the
example
Sam
of
and
that,
Max
where I
style.
grabbed the season 3 Satan because he had
These
season
ones
3
are
they
actually
were
really
better
amazing.
about his model and his textures than season 2.
Yep. And here's
Out of context, that's a really good.
just
that
bring
is a
all
really
Satan
good
back
one.
in.
Santa, Satan, easily confused.
Yeah, this is basically the same opening credit sequence and the same music and stuff as in the original release, but I did go back and
Shoot.
clean it up. You can shoot in more places. Sam and Max have a little more animation. It was surprisingly hard to update this because when I first built it, it was maybe
Into
the
a-
first thing that I had ever
Wow.
put in to the game on my own. And
That's
I
cool, though.
didn't
I'm
do a
learning
very
a
good
lot
job.
backstory with their
so,
banter here.
So I got to come back a decade later and look at the first work
All
I
right,
had
now we're at the
made,
North Pole.
and it was sad because I know
I do
like
remember
the
this
opening credit
section. I don't
sequence.
know why I remember the
Season
North
is a
Pole
little bit
section,
gone
but I
because
do.
he did all of the setup for me, and
Oh, yeah, maybe.
I just kind of had to move a camera around and
Like I said, I never beat this one. I played
and
it,
was
but I
hard to
never
see
beat
playing
it.
a video game that
But I
still
do
existed.
remember the
I was
North
like,
Pole
I'm making a
section
video
like
game. I
distinctly.
definitely was not.
Oh wow, the elves look way different.
Soda poppers.
Yeah.
No, we're
Okay.
not. We're not allowed.
We love
to,
the soda poppers.
We love the soda poppers. We're not allowed to just repeat the meme. The soda poppers are great.
Look at those hats.
Look how fancy this looks.
Oh yeah, we talked.
We missed that opening bit
We talked
when we
over
were driving
all
up.
the opening stuff. Yeah, in the
It looks
remaster
good though.
of the season, we went back and we put a lot of work, especially into the first episode, because I think the writing and even just the art and the story and design of this episode is great, but I think that the mood that it was trying to convey, I don't think we ever quite got all the way there, where Sam and Max are going to the North Pole, and it's the feeling is that Santa has become this kind of isolationist.
Yeah, because in the original it was really bright and
kind of
colorful.
maniac who's holed himself up in his office and has turned the North Pole into this compound that everyone is scared to go to. And we put more work into that. We added
Added snow.
Snow.
well, yes, we added
Snow
snow.
particles.
It's
The barbed
darker and
wire.
creepier.
Yeah, the
It's got
lighting
sort of
does help a
Actual
lot
snow.
in a
It's
lot
got-
of these
it's got the
situations.
barbed wire fencing,
Yep.
the spotlight that follows the characters around now. I know Jared Emerson Johnson, the composer, wrote the music for this exterior track, and it's always been this sort of dark, ominous, creepy track that feels like whatever.
Yeah, the music always had that tone. It was just the visuals that gave it that
art was always kind of just
that contradiction when you look at it. They were kind of too bright and cheery for being a desolate kind of isolated
like
Santa
Santa's
Claus
village.
setting.
yeah.
A little too cheerful.
It had the feeling still, even though I know the intent was always to make it a little creepy. It kind of did have the feeling of like a
Yep.
miniature that would be like on a table at your grandma's house.
Yeah.
But now it's like the spooky version
I always like that joke.
of that.
That's why we no longer have Secret Santa at the
Alright,
office.
stop talking to these fools.
Okay.
So just real quick, Jake, you mentioned music on this, music that was done for this originally, but I know on this.
Oh, new music?
season,
I like
there's
that.
a lot of
That's
music
awesome.
From Jared too.
Yeah, they're
I don't know if
actually
we're gonna
right-
get to see any, but
Right
we'll
at the
talk.
beginning, when the robot attacks, there's a new track there that's a little.
Yeah,
more
and Sam and
action-packed.
Max have great music in
Jared
all
did
their games.
a
If you
new
guys have
sort of
never heard Sam and
more
Max
high-energy
Max
jazz
music,
variant of the
very
robot
good,
track.
very good music.
partly just because I think we didn't want the original version of that scene was set to basically the exact same music as the opening credits, and we didn't want those two things running back to back, which again happened at the beginning of episode 2 and happened at the end of episode 4 and happened at the end of episode 5, and it was like that one track I think was our like, oh, we need something kind of actiony here. Oh,
Oh,
we'll just
okay.
use
Makes
the
sense
opening
design
credits
wise though,
on loop.
why
Works
they would
really
make
good.
that
For
decision.
Jared, when he's done a bunch more sort of action and suspense music,
I don't
thought
fault
this
you guys. It
was
makes sense.
awesome. And he did a new street theme, which I don't think we'll hear in this playthrough, but I love it. It's kind of just classic Sam and Max walking around music that plays when you're out on the street in a few of the episodes. This is more just trying to add a little bit of
Yeah, that
feeling of
ambiance.
ominous wrongness to some
I
of
remember
those
that elf with the beady
scenes.
eyes. I do remember that one.
There's another scene that we changed a lot in terms of set dressing. The murals on the walls, we added some waffles. Because why
Waffles
not?
good.
We have the two
Waffles.
essentials: murals and waffles.
Yeah, hot chocolates and whipped cream.
Yeah,
We extended the ceiling in here, so it's the whole second floor.
The
which
gun, he
you
just
can
shoots out the
feel
door.
from a little bit from the nav cam if you pull back.
Snow will turn red with the blood of the naughty.
I think we wanted the feeling both of it being a little more sort of cozy and worn in, like you would expect Santa's Workshop to be, but then also partly because the scene always was big, but didn't have.
I
very much
agree. I
light
like the
for it,
extra
and partly
detail it
just
does.
because
Make it more
if
feel
you're
more
looking at
lived in,
nowadays, having it lit
more
where
real.
there's some light, around the floor, and then it just creeps up into darkness. We thought it would again be.
And the
very
lighting
cinematic.
looks so freaking good. Like
Yeah,
from
we
the
wanted to make it look
LED
more full,
snowflake back there,
when
and you
we-
see
when
it
we added the
reflecting on the
waffles.
wall as it spins. On top of that, the tree there, you
Whatever
can see the
wanted it to
lighting on
be,
the
again,
tree
seemed
reflecting on
more
the
fully,
walls.
but
I
put,
love
like,
that.
a lot
Add
of-
waffles.
put, like some waffle bars in the background. Yeah, that's a sort of
Yeah.
known trick.
It's classic. Yeah.
Bangkok.
This is when this first went
Oh,
in.
is that your favorite joke?
I love it. And I think
Helsinki.
the reason that I loved it at the time was because it was at least at the time pretty rare that we would do a pure sight gag in a Telltale game. A lot of stuff had to be dialogue driven because there wasn't a lot
Right.
of animation budget just for like a goof, and the fact that it is a total visual gag was a delight to me when I first saw it. And I still love it. I click on the North Pole multiple times when I play just to make Sam and Max stick their guns to it.
It was so popular that people wanted it in the other episodes too.
Yeah, I know. On the team, people were like, "I just love that happening." So yeah, you can magnify
For no
the
reason,
North
just to
Pole in
do
the
it.
office when it goes there in later episodes. This horrible creepy elf.
He was always creepy
He's
though.
less creepy than he used to be in terms of facial structure. He's so
His
bizarre
teeth
looking.
are less black.
He's more, I think,
Yeah.
deliberately creepy than accidentally creepy now.
Yeah. I wanted his head to look more like a balloon or kind of like Charlie Brown's big, round, weird head.
Success.
Go back and they're so much less blocky now.
Yeah.
And you can't
Yeah,
really
it's
tell
true.
until you look at
They
them
look
side
really
by
good,
side,
though.
But
Smooth,
It's
everything's
different.
so much smoother. It looks very fun. A lot less stuttering, I'm noticing as well, because the original release had a lot of you'd go to a screen and you have to
Yeah.
wait for
Yeah,
the screen to
snow,
shift or
yeah.
load and
and
stuff
broke
like that.
everything.
Yeah,
It looks like it runs a lot smoother.
Had to open and close the doors all
That
the
is a
time, but
creepy
I-
doll under the
we
tree,
wanted it
though.
to feel a little more like it was an actual factory workroom, and it seemed like having hinged double doors.
I didn't know you put those doors in at first, and I was like playing through the game, and I'm like, what the hell's going on here? They keep walking through those
Because
doors.
the characters just keep like
Yeah.
just like walking
Like,
straight
what
through
the-
them.
What happened?
Go ahead.
I love trying to make this guy cry. It's another one of the puzzles that the writers love doing in the first two of these seasons. where
Sam
you can
or
control
Max,
whether you're
okay.
playing as Sam
Yeah, I
or
forgot
Max.
all about that
Basically
you could
just,
switch back in the day.
insult and mess with characters. It feels like it comes up a few times a season, or whenever this comes up, it's like, well, your job is just to.
Yeah, it's always torture.
It's just
Yeah.
it's just.
We killed
to
your
annoy
dog.
the heck out of someone.
Don't
How'd
kill
you-
his dog. He's gonna go John Wick on you.
I already killed. Nope, it's too bad. Dog's dead.
Had we gotten that version of the interface in,
I don't have a
to
dog.
explain what was going on there, I bet we would have used that a lot more in the game.
We killed
Because
him.
That's another thing that took us like 15
Such a
years.
good. I love the
Well,
writing.
I did
So
the first
good.
version, and
Oh,
I was I was really proud of it at the time. But yeah, there were just these two little tiny tabs with black and white silhouettes.
I'll
of
rip
their
your eyes
faces on
out.
them. And this is a lot nicer. Turns out.
I think it was just one of those things that there was never enough time
You were
to
adopted.
to,
put them in.
And
right, to get it to sing.
it's also
Yeah.
there are sometimes you don't know how something is going to work until it works, and then by the time
Yeah.
it works, you have to ship the game and it's done, and then
Right,
you're stuck
you're
with it.
done.
Whereas this, you can go back and say, well, how did those puzzles actually play, and what was the sort of man?
sure.
Sorry, that orphanage thing.
Easy
was
come,
funny.
easy go.
But yeah, you can go back with the benefit of hindsight of like how you want that to feel when you're swapping between Sam and Max, and when you're what the cadence of these dialogue puzzles actually is, and then redo the interface.
I wonder about how much longer they're going to get into this playthrough, though. Because this is basically the first act of episode 1. Basically that first part with the robot, and then you go here to the North Pole, and then basically there's a whole big long stretch in the North Pole.
That was frustrating.
Hmm?
Maybe you should go take out your frustrations on something.
Sure.
Hint, hint.
Yeah. This
Bot buddy.
This bop buddy. Previously not punchable, which is, in my opinion, a crime to have a stress toy in a video game that the player can't punch and get a satisfying reaction out of. But now
Do it again.
Okay, thank you. There you go, John.
Do it again. Keep doing it.
Okay, it's fine.
This
Just
John's
adding in a
favorite
bot
part of
buddy,
the
that's
entire
all.
season.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah, he's
That
based.
was my favorite part of the Telltale office. Was when we had one of those guys.
we did have a bot buddy in the office next to like the old plastic hockey equipment, and you could just walk by. And
All
punch
right,
him.
well,
He
stress
was
relief
frequently
right there in
punched.
the office.
Until he died a slow death.
Until he died a slow death. Until he deflated.
Well, John said
Trampoline.
he was taken out with a
That's another
flying
fun thing
karate
about
kick,
Sam and
so-
Max
Yeah,
as
right.
well,
And then
with
I
a lot of
forwarded another
Telltale
one. We got
games,
a second
is a
one.
lot of the
I
smaller
don't
things you
remember
can
how
do,
the
like the
second one.
trampoline, the
Really
bot
good
buddy,
bit.
the magnetic North Pole, stuff like that, little jokes and gags that were in there.
Just chomp.
Just from
Say that like you
exploring, I
did.
love that aspect.
Someone.
I
Oh, I bet
I
it was
cannot
strong bass.
deny. I will not deny.
Using the
biting.
computer, yep.
That's right.
Grandma's happy pills.
No, I have grandma's happy pills.
What are in those?
People are asking grandma a lot of questions about her pills. But yeah, I'm starting to play this game a little out of order in that I'm now trying to give gifts to people, but I haven't met anyone yet, so I don't even know who to give them to. I just noticed that the reflection in Sam's nose blinks along with the Christmas lights. That's really
You just noticed that?
yeah. I don't know. A lot of details in this video game. Well, let's go visit.
Yep. See Santa Claus, and that's probably going to be where they end the walkthrough here.
His red Ritter gun.
There he is. Yeah, that's right. Legally distinct, original creation. I think we should probably wrap it up. Obviously, if you're playing the game for real, you would start investigating what's going on here.
Yep.
Figure out
Very
what's
fun
going
game,
on.
though, guys. Highly recommend it.
But instead, I'm probably just going to punch the bot buddy a few more times.
Punch the bot
and,
buddy.
And call it a day.
Call it a day. Yeah. So thanks everyone for watching this much. All right. Well.
That was fun.
Yeah, very short video, guys. Well, not short, a longer video, but a lot of new
That's
information, a
look
lot of
at
cool
Sam
gameplay.
Max,
And
what
from
is it?
one
Beyond
Sam
Time and
Max
Space,
fan to
that's
another, it
on
was
the
worth it. So,
PlayStation Santa, which is coming December 8th to Switch,
and
Xbox,
PC. Alrighty.
and
I
PC.
see.
Cool. You can learn more
SkunkApeGames.com,
at
guys. The new developers of Sam and Max
skunkapegames.com.
games.
Thanks very much for watching.
That was the
Thank you.
gameplay of Beyond Time and Space Remastered. So let's go ahead and talk about it. Coming out December 8th, 2021. Let's talk about it. So that's Sam and Max Beyond Time and Space Remastered. Looks very fun. It looks like a 100% Sam and Max gameplay. I hope you guys enjoyed that 22-minute video. I know it was a long one. I know there wasn't a very important video, but there was a whole lot to see and to take in visually with the remaster. So I hope you guys got to see that. And if you guys are Sam and Max fans, I definitely highly recommend this one. Check it out. I will be checking it out probably on Switch because I don't have an Xbox One or a PC really to play it on anymore. So yeah, that'll be what I'm probably going to check it out on. But that's just my thoughts on it, guys. Very excited for it. I think the gameplay looks great, and definitely will be checking it out. Let me know down below what you guys think. Make sure you like, subscribe, or share. And until next time, guys, keep it right here on Dorkston. I've been your host, Ghost. Adios.